Hi everyone and welcome back to Rachel's Enchanting Cakes. Now for today's tutorial I'm going to be sharing with you my basic vanilla sponge recipe. Now this is excellent for your basic cakes like this or the ones that you're going to be covering with fondant. However, it's also amazing for cake carving. As always, everything you need to know in a simple step-by-step format. And if you're wanting to make a slightly larger cake, you will find measurements for that in the description. Happy baking everyone, and let's make a start. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is line our cake tins. For this I'm using stalk. Now my cake tins are quite deep. They're roughly about 3 inches deep each tin. And they are the dark colour, so they cook pretty fast. Now, one of the main secrets to keeping your cake lovely and light on the outside without going too crusty is lining it correctly. So you can see the amount of baking paper that I'm using for both the base and the sides. I'm just going to apply one of each so that you can see how easy it is. So if you just grease the sides of your tin with the stalk, and then simply add the baking paper. Now I do take my time doing this, and then you add another 3 pieces minimum. The more the better. Once you have done this, simply apply the rest to the base. Again, I have 3 pieces and I just add more stalk on top of each. The better the lined cake tin, the less crusty it will be on the outside. And just bear in mind, if you are using lighter cake tins made from a different metal, they don't absorb the heat quite as much, so they will need a longer baking time. So today I'm going to be using stalk, and you want to weigh out exactly 300 grams. Now, if you want to, you can use real butter. Obviously, it's an awful lot more expensive, especially due to the cost of living. However, you will end up with a bit more of a dense cake, and it is harder to get it to rise. Stalk tastes just as delicious as long as you're using an excellent quality vanilla extract, which we're going to be getting onto very soon, and it rises beautifully. So I would highly recommend using this for your cakes. In a separate bowl, weigh out 300 grams of castor sugar. And then you want to place this directly into the bowl that you have added your stalk and beat it on high. You will know when it's ready because you will not be able to see any grains of the castor sugar, and it will be completely lovely and smooth. So whilst our butter and sugar mixture is beating, you now want to start prepping the eggs. For a 300 gram batter cake, which is what we're using in equal measurements, I use a total of 6 eggs. Now, what I mentioned about the high quality vanilla extract, Nelson Massey is very expensive, more so now than it ever has been, but it is one of the best, and this is adding the flavour. You want exactly 1 level teaspoon. Add it directly to the eggs and then keep on whisking and add plenty of air. Alongside the eggs, we need to weigh out now exactly 300 grams of self-raising flour. There is no need for any baking powder in this recipe. By adding all the air and beating the eggs correctly, you do not need another rising agent. Now, another good idea is to also purchase the more expensive flours. There is a big difference, and it will help your cake rise beautifully. So this is what the stalk and the castor sugar will look like once it's been beaten correctly. Now then, this is the most difficult part of baking. We need to add the egg mixture with the vanilla extract without any of this curdling and separating. So to make this easier, simply add a small amount of eggs first, and then keep on adding a small amount of self-raising flour. I alter how fast the mixer is actually going. So as I'm adding the eggs, I'm on slow. Then I put the mixer up really fast, and then I turn it right back down again just before I add some flour. And as that starts to incorporate into the mixture, I then turn my mixer up. This does come with practice, but you will end up with such a beautiful, delicious, light, fluffy, airy cake, which is also perfect for cake carving. So you want to simply do this with all of your egg mixture and all of the flour until it's all lovely and incorporated. When finished, this is what the cake batter should look like. So it hasn't curdled, and if you have any leftover flour, you want to fold it in. So simply go around the outside and down through the middle. Take your time doing this as well, because all of the air that we've just beaten into this cake is what's going to allow it to rise, as well as the self-raising flour. So do take your time. I then add the cake batter to both of my cake tins evenly, and this wants to be baked at 180 degrees centigrade for roughly 40 to 45 minutes. However, please do bear in mind that all ovens work at different temperatures, so it might tell you that it's at 180. However, the oven might only be functioning at 175. If this is the case, sometimes I find it best to always have an external oven thermometer, because the older the ovens get, the less efficient they are. You'll also notice I've placed some foil underneath these loose baked cake tins, and the reason I've done that is to prevent all of that stalk butter lining that I have used to add the baking paper from ending up on the bottom of my oven and all over the oven shelves. It will not affect the baking in any way. Once taken out of the oven, you want to check that these are cooked. So for this I use a food skewer and just look at the end and make sure there's no batter on the bottom. You want to take them out of the tins. I do this directly on a cooling rack and remove all of that baking paper. Allow these to completely cool before decorating. You can always wrap them in cling film once they have cooled down completely. Just look how lovely and deep these cakes are. Now I have had to trim them down slightly because I only want my finished cake to be 11 centimeters high, and that's with filling, and that's due to another tutorial that I am going to be making. But the fact that they are so deep, they haven't crusted, they are flat, so you don't have to trim any off if you don't want to, so you're saving an awful lot of cake. It's just such a simple recipe. Now this buttercream recipe is already available on my channel as well. This is just normal American buttercream. I've simply piped the top and then add some beautiful fresh raspberries. In the centre of this cake I have buttercream and raspberry jam. Absolutely delicious. So simple to do and super easy. Happy baking, everyone. Remember, this cake is excellent for cake carving, and you can use any sort of filling that you want. I really do hope I've helped you again today, and I'll be back soon with an awful lot more new, completely free content.